God says, 45 minutes left. I've been trying to reach you, but you keep skipping me. This time something unexpected is coming. Please open this message now. There is no time to delay. God is not speaking in riddles. This is not a quiet whisper in the background of your life. This is not something to scroll past and forget. This is a divine interruption. God says 45 minutes left, and that means the window is small, the hour is urgent, and your spirit needs to pay attention. He has been trying to reach you. He has been calling in the stillness, in the chaos, in the middle of your doubt, your fear, your pain. You keep skipping, but he hasn't stopped reaching. This time, something different is coming, something unexpected, something holy, something that can either break you or bless you. And God is pleading, please open this now. Comment, Amen. If you can feel this in your spirit, listen closely, because this is not a message of fear, but a wake-up call of love. When God says there are 45 minutes left, He is not putting a clock on your salvation, but He is putting a holy urgency in your soul. He's saying you don't have forever to keep ignoring the voice that's been calling you back. You don't have forever to keep pushing away the healing, the breakthrough, the peace you've been asking for in private. You've been praying for God to speak, but every time He reaches, you're too distracted, too weary, too wounded, or too busy trying to fix it your own way. This is the moment where heaven reaches into your life and says, stop everything. Listen, this is from God. And if you lean in, if you stay with this to the end, your heart is going to shift. If this touches you deeply in any way, please like this video so more souls can receive what God is pouring out right now. Right now, in this very moment, there is a shift happening around you. What's coming is unexpected, not because God didn't plan it, but because you didn't see it coming. It's not what you were preparing for. It's not what you were asking for. But it's exactly what your soul has needed. It's the kind of divine interruption that leaves you with tears in your eyes. Not because you're broken, but because you realize how deeply loved you are by a God who never gave up on reaching for you. God says, I've been trying to reach you, and even when you skipped past my presence, I stood there in your silence. I waited through your disappointment. I covered you when you didn't even ask me to. That's what makes this so holy. God didn't turn away when you did. He didn't walk out when you shut the door. You thought He was distant, but He was holding everything back from collapsing. He was the strength behind the moments you thought you had none left. You kept skipping Him, and He kept holding your world together. You kept running, and He kept protecting you from the very dangers your eyes never saw. You didn't ask for mercy, but He gave it. You didn't earn favor, but He poured it. You didn't feel worthy, but He called you chosen. Comment 1111 if you believe He's still calling you. There's only 45 minutes left in this spiritual moment, and you may not know what that means for your life, but God does. You may not know what's coming, but He's already seen the next chapter, and He's trying to prepare your heart before it arrives. He's not warning you to scare you. He's waking you up so He can walk with you into what's next. Because what's coming is not just unexpected, it's going to reveal the depth of God's favor over your life. But only if you are awake, only if your heart is open, only if your soul is listening. Do not let the distractions drown out this call. Do not let the routine numb the ache in your spirit. God has been trying to reach you through the dreams that stirred you, through the nights you couldn't sleep, through the burdens that wouldn't lift, through the moments you felt something was shifting but couldn't explain why. It was Him. He was trying to get your attention through the silence, through the stillness, through the ache. This time is different. This is not a repeat of the last season. This is not just another emotional moment. Something unexpected is coming, and if your heart is not turned toward him, you could miss the miracle that's wrapped inside what looks like trouble. Sometimes the breakthrough walks in looking like heartbreak. Sometimes the answer to prayer shows up dressed in disappointment, and you won't recognize it unless your spirit is listening. That's why God is saying now, not later, not after another delay, now. You keep skipping him because you think you'll get back to him when things calm down. But the truth is, peace doesn't come when life slows down. Peace comes when God steps in. You've been trying to manage what was never yours to carry. You've been trying to survive in a storm you were meant to speak to with authority, but you forgot the power that lives in you when God is with you. You forgot who holds your days, who numbers your steps, who guards your tomorrow. And he's saying gently, come back. Not in shame, not in fear, but in surrender. He's been reaching through everything to get to your heart. Not your perfection, not your performance, just your heart. Comment 222 if you trust this is for you. God says there are 45 minutes left because heaven's timing is not always like yours. What feels like delay is divine alignment. What feels like being ignored is often God rearranging things for your protection. And what feels like silence is sometimes the loudest expression of love. He lets you wait so your heart is ready to receive it. He lets things fall apart so he can rebuild them with his hand. He lets you feel empty so you'll learn to be filled by nothing and no one else but him. What if just 7 seconds could flip your entire financial life? A shocking CIA leak has revealed a powerful brain ritual that's helping ordinary people wipe out debt and attract wealth beyond imagination. Backed by 4 cutting-edge neuroscience labs, this at-home breakthrough is turning everyday lives into dreams, luxury cars, beautiful homes, endless vacations. But this secret may vanish soon. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. Something unexpected is coming, and you will not see it clearly with natural eyes. It will require faith. It will ask for trust. It will stretch your belief. But you are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not passed over. This is the moment your heart was born for. The moment when divine interruption becomes divine encounter. God says, I've been trying to reach you, not to scold you, but to save you from the storm ahead. I want to walk with you, not watch you struggle without me. I want to cover you, not see you crushed by the weight. But I need your attention now. I need your surrender now. I need your yes now. If you've read this far, you know this is not just another message scrolling by. This is personal. This is divine. This is heaven calling you home before the clock runs out on the moment he carved just for you. Let the noise fall away. You have been alive but not fully living, breathing but weighed down, walking but without direction. And while the world has been pulling your attention in every direction, God has been quietly and powerfully standing at the center of your soul, knocking, waiting, hoping that even for a moment you would pause and look toward him again. You keep skipping him, not because you do not love him, but because you have been tired, confused, broken, and afraid. The weight of what you've carried has distracted you from the presence of the one who carried you through it all. But just because you've looked away does not mean he has. He has seen every tear you wiped away in silence. He has heard every prayer you whispered in the dark, the ones you were not sure even reached him. He saw when you walked through that door pretending you were okay, while inside your heart was screaming for a breakthrough, and even then, he never stopped reaching. Comment 333 to declare your faith in his timing. God is speaking again right now because something is about to shift. It is not a coincidence that you are hearing this at this very moment. This is not random, And it is not just another spiritual word. This is an appointed encounter. This is a divine moment, carved out in the unseen realm before you even woke up this morning. God timed this perfectly because there is something in your future that is about to collide with your obedience. There is a door that is opening, a battle that is ending, a healing that is coming, and God is preparing your heart so you do not miss the moment. Something unexpected is coming, and while the world might see chaos, heaven sees fulfillment. What others will call random, you will call answered prayer. What some will misunderstand, you will recognize as the exact thing you had been needing without even knowing how to ask for it. Because God does not give the way the world gives. He sends rain in deserts. He speaks peace in storms. He breathes life into what looks dead. He brings beauty from ashes. And He is still doing it, even now, even here, even for you. The reason He keeps trying to reach you is because you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not passed over. You are not one of the ones left behind. He has chosen you. He has marked you. You are part of something bigger, and the enemy has been trying to distract you, wear you out, and convince you to settle for less. But the reason your spirit keeps stirring is because heaven refuses to let you quit. God is not letting go of you. Even when you tried to let go of Him, He held you tighter. You need to know that this moment is sacred, that what feels like pressure is actually birthing, that what feels like an ending is actually the beginning of something deeply holy. God is preparing to do something you never saw coming, and He is going to do it in a way that cannot be explained by logic or predicted by planning. He's going to do it so only He can get the glory. So when people ask how it happened, you'll say, "It wasn't me, it wasn't luck, it was God. He stepped in when I least expected it. He opened the door, no one else could. He answered prayers I never even spoke out loud." Comment 555 if your spirit is expecting this. This is why He's been trying to reach you, not to bring guilt, but to bring alignment. Not to shame you, but to protect you. Not to call you out, but to call you back. He wants to position you for the promise. He wants to align your heart for what is coming. Because if your heart is not ready, you might walk past the blessing thinking it's just another burden. If you are too tired, you might miss the miracle because it came dressed in surrender. So He is calling gently but firmly open now, because heaven is moving, and your name is written on what's about to be released. You don't need to have it all together. You don't need to clean yourself up first. You don't need to pretend you're not hurting. All He wants is your yes, a yes from your heart, a yes from your soul, a yes that says, "I don't understand, but I trust you." A yes that says, "I'm tired, but I still believe." A yes that says, "Even though I feel unworthy, I receive what you have for me." Because grace does not ask for perfection, it asks for surrender. And God is not interested in what you can prove. He's after the part of you that's still holding on, still hoping, still believing even when it hurts. Could this hidden CIA brain ritual be the real reason people are suddenly rich? A secret CIA discovery has just leaked, revealing a brain hack that's pulling wealth into people's lives effortlessly. It only takes 7 seconds, it's done at home, and it's backed by 4 neuroscience labs. Debt is vanishing, luxury is becoming normal. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. God says, there are 45 minutes left, and in that time, He can shift your entire story. Heaven does not need years to restore what was lost. God can do in a moment what man couldn't do in a lifetime. One touch from his hand and everything changes. One word from his mouth and storms go silent. One breath from his spirit and dead things come alive. He is not limited by time, but he wants your attention in this time, because obedience always unlocks what delay could never prevent. This is the moment to turn your heart fully to him again. Comment 1212 if you are ready for what he has prepared. The pain you have felt is not the end of your story. The loneliness you carried was not for nothing. God saw it all. He allowed certain things to be removed because they could not go with you into the next season. It felt like loss, but it was actually protection. It looked like rejection, but it was actually redirection. And now, with 45 minutes left in this holy window, he is calling you to walk forward, not backward. To step into faith, not fear. To believe again. To trust again. To worship even when you don't see it yet. Stay open, stay listening, stay near, because the voice of God is not loud, but it is clear. And if you quiet the noise of everything else, you will hear him again, whispering life into your soul, speaking peace over your mind, reminding you that you are not alone, that he is still here, that he never left, that this moment is not the end, it is the beginning of something divine. This moment is not about looking back at all the ways you've fallen short. It's about realizing how far God has carried you in spite of everything that tried to break you. His voice is not coming to remind you of your failures, it's coming to restore the pieces of you that have been wounded in silence. When he says there are 45 minutes left, he's not measuring seconds. He's measuring surrender. He's measuring the weight of your heart and calling you to drop everything else and finally step into the peace he's been trying to give you for so long. This divine interruption is not like the others. It's not here just to stir your emotions. It's here to change your atmosphere, to shift the weight of fear that's been sitting heavy on your chest, to remove the cloud of confusion that's been dimming your vision, to reach the part of your soul that has been quietly saying, I can't keep doing this without God. He heard that cry. He saw that breaking point. And now he's stepped in, not with wrath, not with judgment, but with mercy, with power, with love that does not make sense, but heals in ways nothing else can. Comment 777 if you believe God is shifting something inside you right now. You don't need to see the full picture to trust the hand of the one who painted the sky and told the oceans where to stop. The same voice that calmed the sea is speaking into your chaos. The same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is breathing strength into your weary bones. You have not missed your moment. You have not messed up too badly. You have not run too far. You are not too broken to be restored. God is not only still reaching for you, he is still choosing you again. Now, with everything you're carrying, with every wound you still hide, he says, give it to me. Let me carry what you cannot. Let me be the one to lift the heaviness from your soul. This unexpected thing that is coming is not wrapped in disaster but in glory. It might look different than what you expected. It might not come in the way you wanted. But it is going to carry a weight of God's presence so heavy that you'll look back and realize it was the very thing you needed all along. The kind of moment that makes you fall on your knees, not because you're in pain, but because the goodness of God is too overwhelming to explain. It's the kind of grace that makes you weep, not from sadness, but from the realization that he never let go, he never gave up. He stayed through every skipped prayer, through every tired sigh, through every silent night when you felt like giving up. This is not the time to let doubt rule your mind. This is not the time to let fear be louder than faith. You've waited too long, prayed too hard, cried too much to walk away now. Heaven is standing at the edge of release, and God is waiting for your spirit to receive it. The delay was not denial. The silence was not absence. God was working behind the scenes, rearranging things, removing the wrong people, protecting you from things you begged Him for, and preparing blessings that will make sense only in hindsight. Comment 999 if you receive the protection God has placed over your life. This is your turning point. The moment the pressure starts making sense, the moment the weight you've carried becomes the testimony you'll tell. You have been planted, not buried. You are not forgotten in the dark. You are hidden for growth. Your roots have been growing deeper than anyone can see, and now heaven is calling forth what has been growing in silence. The breaking was for the birthing. The pruning was for the promise. The isolation was for preparation. And the voice of God is speaking now, so your spirit will not miss the shift. He's not just reaching out to comfort you, He's reaching to raise you. He is lifting you out of small thinking, out of shame, out of survival mode. You were never meant to just make it through. You were meant to walk in authority, to declare peace, to carry joy, to live in boldness. And God is not just watching you try to figure it out. He is actively moving pieces, opening doors, aligning timing, softening hearts, and placing favor on your name in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Why is this 7-second brain ritual suddenly going viral? Leaked CIA files have exposed a hidden brainwave technique that opens the floodgates to wealth. Verified by 4 top labs, this ritual is turning financial pain into prosperity fast. From massive bills to luxury trips, it's changing lives. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. What is coming is going to remind you that God still works miracles. Not just the kind that heal the sick or open blind eyes, but the quiet kind, the personal kind, the deeply intimate kind that restore families, heal hidden trauma, provide when the money runs out, bring love when the heart is empty, and send peace that doesn't make sense in the middle of storms. That's the kind of miracle coming to your life, and it's closer than you think. Comment 1010 if you're ready to receive what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. There are things God has kept in His hand, waiting for the moment your heart could carry them. He's not withholding from you. He's been waiting for the right time. And this, right now, is the beginning of that release. The winds are changing. The atmosphere is shifting. The attacks that were sent to destroy you will now become the very things that validate the presence of God in your life. You will look back on the storm and say, "That was the place I learned He really was my refuge." Keep your heart tender. Keep your spirit humble. Let His voice be the loudest sound in your soul. Because what He is doing next does not require your striving, only your surrender. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to perform. You just need to rest in the promise that if God spoke it, He will bring it to pass. Heaven's timeline is not rushed, but it is precise. Every second has been accounted for. Every tear has been seen. Every sacrifice has been remembered. You are closer than you've ever been, closer to peace, closer to clarity, closer to freedom. God has not forgotten a single prayer. He has stored every one of them. And the answer is coming wrapped in the unexpected. This is not a random interruption. This is God knocking at the door of your soul, asking for your attention before the next wave of change begins. He says, "I've been trying to reach you, and this time, what's coming cannot be ignored." He knows how long you've been tired. He knows how much you've carried without showing it. He knows how many nights you've laid down in silence, pretending to be okay when you were holding on by a thread. He was there every time you smiled to hide the ache. He was with you when no one else noticed. And through all of that, he never stopped trying to reach you. He never gave up speaking, even when you stopped listening. His voice didn't stop flowing into your life. It was your pain that made it harder to hear. Comment 1515 if you know God has been protecting your heart even in silence. Heaven is open right now, not just for you to cry out, but for you to receive. There is something coming toward you that you didn't even have the words to ask for. It's not delayed, it's been prepared. God has been arranging the pieces behind the scenes, weaving mercy through moments you thought were meaningless, placing divine favor in the middle of your ordinary life. The pain you faced didn't delay your purpose, it purified it. The tears you cried didn't slow down the promise. They watered the ground for your harvest. You have been on the edge of giving up because you thought nothing was changing. But what you couldn't see is that everything was shifting beneath the surface. God doesn't build on weak foundations. He strengthens what's underneath before he reveals what's ahead. He lets certain people walk away, not to punish you, but to protect you. He closed doors that looked perfect because they were filled with things that would have broken your spirit. He said, "Not yet," to the things you were desperate for, because what he's bringing is better than what you were begging for. What's coming is holy. It's different. It's not what you expected, but it's exactly what your soul has needed. And it's coming not because you deserve it, but because he is good, because his mercy is deep, because his love is wide, because his promise over your life cannot be cancelled by failure or fear or even by the seasons where you drifted away. God is not holding your distance against you. He is holding the door open. And that door leads to a new beginning. Comment 1717 if you believe God is opening the right door at the right time for you. This is the season where you will see why it had to happen the way it did. You'll look back on the pain, the silence, the confusion, and you'll finally understand that none of it was wasted. God was forming something in you that could only be birthed through the breaking. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. You were not being forgotten. You were being formed. You were not being overlooked. You were being aligned with heaven's timing. And now the alignment is complete. The time has come. And the voice of God is still calling, "Please open this now." There are people who walked out of your life who had to leave because their presence would have suffocated the new thing God is trying to do. There were places he removed you from, not because you failed, but because he was protecting your gift. He knew that if you stayed, you would have settled. And he never called you to settle. He called you to rise, to walk in power, to carry anointing, to live with clarity. And for that to happen, some things had to break, shift, and fall away. But nothing was lost that he cannot restore. Nothing was taken that he cannot replace with better. Nothing you missed out on will compare to the unexpected glory that's coming. God is not done writing your story. In fact, the chapter you're about to enter will be the most defining one of your life. The chapter where your quiet obedience turns into visible favor. The chapter where your hidden pain becomes public purpose. The chapter where the hand of God makes it undeniably clear that you were never walking alone. Comment Amen if you feel the power of this moment reaching into your soul. Is it time you unlock the same CIA secret brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak has revealed a powerful 7-second technique developed under CIA-funded research and backed by neuroscience. It's helping people magnetize wealth like never before. From debt to luxury faster than anyone believed. But this miracle won't stay public for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. You may still feel tired. You may still have questions. But God is not asking you to understand everything right now. He's asking for your heart. He's asking for your trust. He's asking you to believe, not because everything looks perfect, but because He is still who He says He is. And He has never lied. He has never failed. He has never broken a single promise. His word does not return empty. His presence does not show up without purpose. And right now, His Spirit is reaching again, not out of frustration, but out of love. This is the kind of moment that reshapes futures, the kind of moment that moves mountains in silence, the kind of moment where you say yes in faith, and God responds with doors you never even knocked on. It is the kind of holy moment that generations will look back on and say, that's when everything changed. Not because of what you did, but because of who He is.